Welcome back. This is Fire Safety Week in Canada, and one of the key messages is that every family should have an escape plan in case of fire.
So thank you very much for letting me come talk to you again. Again, my name is Shane Edwards. I'm a fire prevention officer with the Barrie Fire and Emergency Service. And I'm here for a reason, because it's Fire Prevention Week. Yay! And yeah! The most important ways we get the message home is actually delivering the message to kids in the schools, and they bring this message to their homes. Home escape planning, for instance. They do 3 fire drills in the fall and 3 in the spring, but a lot of these kids haven't done fire drills in their home. So what we're going to do is, just like that song said, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a floor plan of our house.
One of the safest places to get out was the door, not the window.
People aren't taking home escape planning very seriously. We just did a study in Barrie, and a majority of the homes in Barrie had never discussed fire escape planning or even practiced an escape plan. I mean, 80% of our fires actually happen in people's homes. If you had to pick 2 ways out of your house, which ways would they be? So put the arrows on there now.
Then my meeting place with my family would be the school playground, because I live right across the street from the playground.
Guys, thank you for letting me come speak to you about fire safety. Happy Fire Prevention Week. Remember, stay fire smart and
don't get burned!
Fire departments have 2 other big messages for families too. One is a reminder to keep children well away from the stove. The other is a warning to kids about the dangers of
National Fire Prevention Week. The theme this year is Stay Fire Smart. On average, fire kills 8 people every week in Canada, and more than 70% of those fatalities occur at home. And that's what firefighters in Barrie were targeting today. Kristen Brownell reports.
Very scary. I got to the point where at one point, right at the beginning of it, I was hyperventilating a little because I didn't know what to do.
Jennifer Pelland is lucky to be alive after a grease fire ripped through a section of her kitchen last week.
I was cooking fries for my son, and I had gone back into the living room to sit down and relax, and I was waiting. I heard a crackle in my kitchen. I came in, and the flames on my pot were like 2 feet high above the counter.
The 31-year-old mother of 2 tried to put the flames out herself by throwing water on the fire, but according to Shane Edwards of the Barrie Fire Department, it was the worst thing she could have done.
Never throw water on a grease fire. The resident here actually, when the fire started, it caught the combustibles and the cabinets on fire, and she took the water, threw it onto the cabinets to put the water out in the cabinets, and it actually fell down on the pot, causing the fire to ignite.
Edwards sees this type of situation far too often.
Just over the last few years, we noticed a lot more people are actually doing the wrong things around the kitchen, causing fires to grow faster and get out of control.
That's why firefighters in this city and across the country are spending this week promoting fire safety.
It's basically the fire department. I'd like to think we shine all year round, but this time of year during this week, it's time for us to step it up.
Although Pelland made a number of common mistakes when the fire started, Edwards says she did do one thing right.
The people here got out of the house safely, so fortunately nobody was hurt, went to their neighbor's house and called 911.
I'm very, very lucky that neither one of us got hurt. If I had known to have a lid close to my pot, I probably could have prevented the fire from combusting.
This year's Fire Prevention Week campaign focuses on ways to keep homes fire safe and also to help prevent painful burns from occurring. Later this week, the Barrie Fire Department will team up with the Barrie Colts to continue their promotion of fire safety. Fire Prevention Week runs through until this Saturday. In Barrie, I'm Kristen Brownell, First Local.
And Barrie firefighters will be at the Barrie Colts game Thursday night, handing out gift bags and fire safety information for parents and children. And firefighters insist that all families should have an escape plan if a fire breaks out in the home. Options to leave the home and a meeting place outside are what you need. And that's the topic of our Rogers web poll question this week. We want to know, does your family have a fire escape plan at home? Log on to our website, rogerstv.com, and let us know.
Close to 700 women came out tonight to cheer on Barrie firefighters as they posed and danced for a good cause. It was all part of the 6th annual Sizzling in the City. The crowd went wild for the firefighters who traded in their helmets and fireproof suits for fashions provided by a number of Barrie clothiers. Many had been rehearsing their dance moves for months. The night raised money for Easter Seals Ontario and the Barrie Firefighters Association that supports Camp Bucko, a charity summer camp for burn victims. Tickets were $35. Local restaurants provided samples, there were vendors, and a silent auction.
Smoke alarms are working. Perfect. And if your smoke alarms are working on each floor, you get your pizza free tonight. Perfect.
And if firefighters weren't modeling, they were helping to deliver pizza with a side order of fire prevention. Barrie Fire and Emergency Service partnered up with local pizza companies to deliver pizzas that some people could get for free. They just had to have a working smoke alarm on every level of their home. This is Fire Prevention Week across Canada, and this is just another way of creating awareness about the importance of working smoke detectors. And good news for these guys, they got their pizza.
And Barrie firefighters were quite busy on Tuesday night. Some were going door to door, delivering pizzas. Elizabeth Smith tells us why.
It was a free one of these for a working one of these. Last night, all 4 Barrie fire stations participated in the first annual Fire and Pizza Challenge. And Fire Prevention Officer Judith Middleton was able to tag along for the ride.
Pizzaville was the crew I attended with. They delivered pizza to 2 unknowing homeowners. And when they arrived, they put their lights and sirens on, they delivered the pizza and asked to test their smoke alarms. And if the smoke alarms were working, they got their pizza free of charge.
You get free pizza. One of those free pizzas went to Cheryl and Kendra Kidman.
And we're glad to see you have no smoke alarm issues in your house. Working on every level.
Okay, great. She likes to sleep in, and she's hard to wake up. So now that our smoke alarms, we know that they're working, I know everybody's safe and we'll get out in time.
And that is exactly what Judith and the fire department were hoping.
And we know that smoke alarms save lives, but if they're not working, nobody's life is saved. So working smoke alarms is the key to life saving in the fire service.
Now I'm told that tonight's event was such a success because most homeowners had already checked their fire alarms before the fire department had arrived. Fire Prevention Week wraps up this Saturday. In Barrie, I'm Elizabeth Smith, First Local.
And those who weren't delivering pizzas were on the stage. Firefighters lost the helmets, boots, and fire gear at the 6th annual Sizzling in the city. Hundreds of women paid $35 each to watch the firefighters strut their stuff in a wild fashion show. More than $30,000 was raised at the event for Easter Seals and the Barrie Firefighters Association. And the Barrie firefighters will be at the Colts game Thursday night handing out gift bags and fire safety information for parents and children. And firefighters insist that all families should have an escape plan if fire breaks out. Options to leave the home and find a meeting place are things that parents should go over with their children. That's the topic of our Rogers web poll question this week. We want to know, does your family have a fire escape plan at home? Log on to our website, rogerstv.com, and let us know. We'll have the results for you on the Friday edition of First Local.